Hi, my name is SARAHDLINA binti JAFRI. I'm here to present to you a project aimed at improving the care and treatment for babies in developing countries. As you may already know, babies are at high risk of hypothermia, which can lead to a range of complications and even death. To address this issue, our team has developed a portable and affordable baby warmer with pulse and temperature monitoring. This device is designed to be used in hospital, clinic, and even in home where access to medical care is limited. Our project background is to help premature baby to regulate their body temperature in high and low temperature. The pulse and the baby body temperature can be monitored by using blink. This will make it easier for parents or a caregiver to monitor baby vital sign and even while on the move.
So there is three objectives that we produce for this project, which is number one is to evaluate the level of temperature and pulse of the baby based off the biological condition. Normal temperature range for healthy baby is between 36.1 Celsius to 38 Celsius when it taken rectally. Number two, to measure the baby pulse and temperature to see the condition in any state at the same time through the IoT, so it will help the checkup faster when you need to measure it one by one. By the way, we are using Blink for the IoT devices. Number three, to reduce the time taken for hospital staff and parents to monitor the baby condition, so the staff and doctor can take an immediately action. So there is three objectives that we produce for this project, which is number one is to evaluate the level of temperature and pulse of the baby based off the biological condition. Normal temperature range for healthy baby is between 36.1 Celsius to 38 Celsius when it taken rectally. Number two, to measure the baby pulse and temperature to see the condition in any state at the same time through the IoT, so it will help the checkup faster when you need to measure it one by one. By the way, we are using Blink for the IoT devices. Number three, to reduce the time taken for hospital staff and parents to monitor the baby condition, so the staff and doctor can take an immediately action.
Our project consists of an ultrasonic sensor, pulse sensor MAX 30100, and temperature sensor MCP9808. This sensor will be connected to ESP32 microcontroller, which processes the sensor data and generates alert if there are any issue with the baby health. The system output is shown through LED and heating pad, while the condition of the baby is notified and displayed through the Blink app. To understand the working system of the device, I will be explaining the flowchart. The device will start working once the ultrasonic sensor detects the presence of a baby in the crib. If there is a baby in the crib at a range of 10 cm near the sensor, it will display baby detected system online, and the LED will turn on while the relay will turn off. Once the pulse sensor and temperature sensor is placed at the baby, it will start taking the body temperature, pulse rate, and oxygen level. Starting with the temperature sensor, there is three body temperature range. That is, normal temperature is at the range 35 Celsius until 37.2 Celsius, and it will display low temperature. If the body temperature is lower than 35 Celsius, it will start to turn on the relay that is connected to the heating pad. Meanwhile, it will display high fever at the range 38.4 Celsius and higher than 40.6 Celsius. For the pulse sensor, it will have two readings, which is the pulse rate and the oxygen level. For the pulse rate, there is three conditions, which is if the pulse rate is at range 120 to 160, it will display pulse rate normal. And if the pulse is lower than 60, it will display pulse rate is too low. Meanwhile, if the pulse rate is more than 170, it will display pulse rate is too high. However, oxygen level has two conditions, which is if the oxygen level at the range 93%, it will display SpO2 level is normal. And if it lower than 93%, it will display SpO2 is too low. The overall condition also can be monitored through the Blink website. It will show graph status on the condition of the baby for the past few hours. As for the coding, I started by determining the distance for the ultrasonic sensor and the condition when the baby is detected or not. What makes it difficult for me to compile this coding is because the two of the sensor need to be used SDA and SL pin, which commonly be placed at pin 21 as SDA and pin 22 as SCL. Because both of these pins is used to connect temperature sensor and pulse sensor, we have to interface pulse sensor at pin 33 and 32. By doing so, the pulse sensor will be read smoothly without having to interrupt the temperature sensor. User will get the notification alert on the baby condition in every 30 minutes. The overall condition also can be monitored through the Blink website. It will show graph status on the condition of the baby for the past few hours.
As for scope limitations, this project can only measure the pulse and temperature for baby under 3 months and above 12 months baby. This is for age limit. Whenever baby over than 12 months, the reading cannot be detected. This project has its own limit of taking an accurate body temperature and pulse rate. Overall, the pulse rate has no scope limitation because it is basic and essential physiological parameter that can be measured easily and accurately in almost any individual, making it a valuable tool for assessing overall health and wellness. The heat pad will only function if the temperature sensor detects the body temperature is lower than 36 degrees Celsius. If the temperature sensor over than 36 degrees Celsius, the sensor it means the data shows higher than usual, the baby temperature over the limit. As for our literature review, PASI project, the heating element, which is a temperature sensor and a pulse sensor, was the link that connected to our project to the previous year's thesis because we used both of them and in our final year project. In this manner, our project, for example, the flow of their coding, what causes them to use the sensor and so on. Reference from internet, the incubators for babies, why they are used and how they work. While doing some research, we found some issues, for example, premature birth, breathing issues, infection, low birth weight, and many more. This shows that they are facing problems, especially from infants. From internet, accidental overheating of a newborn under an infant radiant warmer, a lesson for future use. As we know, this type of heating element, we might think it is way much better for us to use, but little did we know that it also can be lessons for us. Parents or people that use this heating element needs to monitor wisely to avoid any kind of bad consequences that might happen for future.
Okay, so this is the final look for our project. So we will show you that what sensor that we use. So here's the temperature sensor, and here's the heart rate sensor, and we also use this one, ultrasonic, for detecting the baby.
So as you can see here, this is temperature, this is heart rate, pulse rate temperature. As you can see, the notification alert for the temperature and pulse sensor. So as you can see, the notification alert here, and then you can see the temperature and the pulse sensor read. And then before this, you can see the LED here as an example for the heating pad is function. So we use humidifier just to show the relay is working. So the relay is off because the temperature is normal.
As you guys can see here, we use the plywood for low costing, and we use the safety lock for our baby, just in case for the safety for the baby. We use the baby nap. We buy it from Shopee for our hardware. It is low costing, and we added fan for the ventilation.